I like this guy. They are funny guys.
For Friday night, July the 27th. This is Around Midnight with the Local Boys. I am Joe Carbonetta. Say hello to Chevelle Devine and Todd Fluker sitting here with me.
What?
How you guys doing tonight?
I'd be better. Oh, there it is.
What?
So weird.
What's the problem?
I think I broke Facebook.
Oh,
We should probably talk about that.
with your
at some
face?
point. Book. Never mind.
Wow, is it just me or is the equipment like glowing hot tonight?
It is like 190 million
Yeah,
degrees in here.
That's the Earth.
I'm serious. My mixing console is like really warm to the touch, and that's very unusual for this thing.
You don't want to touch my laptop then, because it's always hot.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe, is it because we're just so smoking hot, our TV show?
I can't
Yeah, and Trump's not president.
Can't even dignify that.
Wait, remember, we are the #1 rated show on Friday night on the internet, remember?
Yeah.
We're perpetuating that.
Truth.
Number one in our class.
We're perpetuating that, was it alternate fact?
That's it. So tweet that. Tweet the fact that we are the #1 show on Friday night.
Tweet the alternate fact.
This is, again, Mixified Media Solutions Around Midnight with the Local Boys. We are live, and you can join the conversation tonight on the Facebook chat, or you can give us a call at 951-356-6882, because that's the number that, not so coincidentally, will put you in touch with Mixified Media Solutions on a Monday through Friday basis.
How do these things work?
See, that's called a transducer. What happens is Did
Did he seriously start explaining this?
Explaining how
The sound
microphones
waves-
work.
And am I seriously surprised that he did?
That's what he does.
Okay. I'll you know
So
what?
if you want to know how this works, hit up Mixify.
Yeah, I'll finish schooling you on this
He'll
after the
answer
show. Yeah, that's right. And if you want an explanation, you can call us, and I'll talk to you about that too.
Stop knocking over my drinks.
My bad.
But anyway, going back to what I was saying, you can get us on the Facebook chat.
Oh my
You
God, you
What
gotta be
are you
kidding me.
doing?
I don't have a lot of real estate. We go through this every time.
You have the most real estate of anyone. Who has the least amount of equipment?
Okay, yeah. I can't argue with that.
You can also tweet us at Joe Carbonetta, at Chevelle Devine, or at Todd Fluker. You can email us at mixified@gmail, or check us out on our website, mixified.com. Okay, guys, let's get into the show now that we've done that whole
What was it,
bit.
like 3 minutes of nonsense?
I think pretty much. But, you know, that's the usual first 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, you could say it's an hour of nonsense. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
That's true. That's also very, very true. Like us, share us,
give us
tweet
time.
us, do all kinds of stuff for us, please.
Pay us?
Pay us would be good. That would be excellent, as a matter of fact. You know, if you're watching the show
I don't
tonight
think we can do that on Facebook.
and you're looking for your next
You're gonna mess
big
around and get us shut
radio hosts, why don't you give the Local Boys a call? You can call the same Mixified number. Is that live number? That's either it's up there on the screen right now. Because we're for hire. we want to be on your radio station, and we'll scare away all the listeners. Are you
Let's
drinking?
start doing product placement.
I thought he was drinking my soda now, because I know he spilled all of yours, and I thought he was drinking mine. Anyway,
We're for hire at any price.
that's it. We'll work for food. No, that's not true.
Well,
Chevelle
your
will work for
mattress is
food.
free. I will work for
Chevelle
food.
will work. He will work for food. Totally.
Wait, what's the saying? Is it a steal at any price?
You lost me, bro.
I don't think
Is that
that
a thing?
that doesn't describe
That
us.
sounds like a thing.
That's not a thing. It's a thing now. All right, let's add that
That's
to
it.
the
We're,
hashtag.
yeah, we're adding that
Hashtag
to
a
the.
steal at any price.
We're adding that perpetual myth. The steal at any price, and we are the #1 rated show on Friday nights. Okay, guys, I wanted to jump right into this just because it was so outrageous. And I wish I had that soundbite of Lionel Richie saying outrageous, but I don't. But this was so outrageous that MGM, the MGM resorts, are suing 1,000 people, the victims of that mass shooting, so that it's a preemptive strike. They're using little known and never used before law, federal law, to try and shield themselves from any kind of financial responsibility for the injuries and deaths that occurred at the mass shooting that took place in Las Vegas over last summer.
The part about that I find hard to believe is that it's never been used before.
You know what? It's interesting, and you can check this out. There are multiple articles.
I will be fact-checking every word of this.
I've actually been quoting some of the stuff that's coming from the New York Times article. But at the time that this originally was posted, or it was originally discussed in the media, which was the beginning of this month, the attorneys for the MGM had actually admitted that they'd only discovered this law 2 weeks prior to them implementing it in a preemptive strike to absolve themselves of any financial responsibility.
Wow, do you think that was one of those like Newsies-style stop the press moments where the legal secretary or somebody like had a piece of paper and they were running through the halls like, look at this, Mr. Partner, sir?
You think that's what it was?
Yeah.
And they were like, and he took off his monocle, or his monocle fell off of his face, and he was like, my God.
It could be. That might very well be how it went down. I don't know.
His brandy, he almost dropped his brandy snifter.
That could be. But the thing
then he says
about
something
this,
like, "Go ring Jibs right now."
the thing about this is, it occurs to me, let me take a step back. MGM is afraid that if they end up paying all of these people, and there's at least 1,000 victims, that this could, in theory, bankrupt the company. I mean, they'd go under. But the way I see it, this was as dumb a move as you could possibly make if the public is as outraged as the Times would like to portray. All they need to do,
it might not be. The
is
Times
simply
does exaggerate.
Well, this is true, but all the general public needs to do is boycott all the MGM properties, and they go under anyway.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. They have like half the hotels on the Strip as it is. You'd have to not go to Vegas.
There are other places you can go. This might be a perfect opportunity for California to really go whole hog on the gambling thing. And actually start generating some revenue for the state that we could actually use. Instead of trying to tax the heck out of us for driving our car down the street, why don't we just open up a few more? Well, you know what the problem with that is, now that I think about it, I bet the Native American tribes would probably take an issue with the state getting involved in gambling.
They had an issue with it when they first passed the law. And the only reason they were even able to do it is because they made a bunch of concessions.
Well, but see, that's the thing. I don't think the Native American tribes would want anybody honing in on their business. I mean, they're already competing.
A lot of them kind of, I shouldn't say a lot of them, but there are some who basically farm it out to the same companies that are running Vegas.
Well, yeah, what are all those casinos they have downtown now, like the Bike and the Hustler and the other.
That's true. But you know what? I would be all right with them putting all the Native Americans in charge of all the casinos. We could just open up our own version of Las Vegas out in Palm Springs or something like that. Let the Native Americans run the whole operation. And we just get some of the revenue back here, so long as they're not trying to jack up my gasoline taxes and my vehicle registration fees anymore. I'm all good with it.
Now you know they wouldn't not jack up your taxes. You would have a gambling tax. In fact, I'm trying to plan a trip to Vegas because my wife's got a movie that's coming out, and
was that a shameless plug right here? Is that what that was?
No, but it turned out that way.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And
what's the name of it?
I should probably know the answer to that question. I can never remember. Something about.
Goodness.
I just call it the Smoking Hot Babe movie.
Is that because your wife is in this? Is that
duh?
While you look that up, there are some pretty interesting stats in this article about the MGM on Forbes.com. They have an article talking about this MGM Resort lawsuit. Some of these numbers are pretty staggering because they're talking about how 800 people were injured that day. but only 422 of that was gunfire.
Well,
Yeah, you
so
get
the rest
trampling
was
and
just
everything else.
screaming,
you have
trampling people.
Come on, I mean, it's the mob mentality. You know, you hear gunshots, everybody just starts running. Well, no, wait a minute.
Not everybody.
I was gonna say, what was that comedian who says that the white people always stand up and
What was
that? That's they're the
But
ones that
I
get
better
picked off.
This was a country music one, so they're not.
So it
There's
was
a lot
all
of
white people.
investigating.
So okay, so 50% of them just stood there like deer in the headlights, evidently, and the other 50% trampled each other.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
I know we're gonna get some hate mail for that comment
If-
right there.
if that's the
Better
case,
you said it than me.
then they might have a point. I feel like at a certain point, if there's that many people that were injured for, I don't know what you would call it, logistical reasons, like they didn't have enough security that were
Here's the
you
problem
know,
with that whole scenario.
ushering people out in an emergency situation.
Wait.
that many people were injured by trampling and other such things.
Yeah. So wait, are you calling those people collateral damage? Is that what you're referring?
I'm saying maybe MGM should have had better.
I
But
think
no,
there's
but
no
no,
question.
There's
place.
absolutely no way, because if you do that, then every single event is essentially going to end up having staff that outnumbers the amount of people at the event, and nobody's going to want to foot the bill for that, and nobody's going to go because that would jack the cost up so much.
Okay, but
so the question is, how many people do you have to go? Do you have to plan for every contingency? Because if that's the case, you got to plan for a meteorite falling from the sky, or somebody's going to sue you. That's a little unreasonable.
This is not even so much about that. What about the fact that they gave this guy VIP status, and for a week he had access to service elevators where he was continually bringing more and more weapons up there unchecked?
But then here's the thing, though. One thing, and I mean, we all know this was a terrible event. It's one of the worst in America's history. But I do have a problem with trying to regulate everybody based on the stupidity of one person. What needs to happen, and this guy's dead now, so it's kind of a non-issue. But
It's an issue.
yeah,
well-
it's still an issue.
Okay, it's still an issue, but I don't understand.
Chevelle, stop saying dumb things. Jeez.
I don't understand why it is we feel like we've got to pass a law or sue somebody over some situations that a lot of people just don't have control over.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you don't have control
This
over
will
that.
never come up again. We don't have to worry about guns ever again.
Okay,
Doop-de-doop-de-doo.
but here's the deal. Like, I'm the same guy. I don't want to get stopped when I go to the airport by 8 different levels of TSA. I want to be able to walk right up to the gate. And I want, when I get off a plane, for my family to be able to greet me at the gate.
I'm gonna
I want that,
say,
so I'm okay with that.
I'm going to say that my issue with this situation, where I believe the culpability lay, is in the fact that they enabled this guy to bring these weapons in because there was no scrutiny.
But no, you can't
In
say
fact, they
that.
went
You
out of their
can't say
way
that.
to make it so that he was anonymous in everything that he was
How
doing.
can
No,
he not say that?
You-
It's
no,
exactly what happened.
You're saying that because when you say it the way you're saying it, you make it sound like they're complicit in his crime, and they're not. They thought they were just offering good customer service, and you can't fault
But
somebody.
in this day and age, you're the same guy. You're the same guy the
Joe,
other day. Wait.
Joe,
hang
hold on. No,
you
let
are
me
the
finish
same
my
guy.
statement.
All right. Go ahead.
No, all right, because I'll shoot you down after you go.
Okay.
Probably a poor
You
time
are
to
the
say
same
that.
guy who 2 weeks ago, when I was discussing the fact that I should not have to. Todd was making fun of me, saying, I shouldn't have to worry about leaving my keys in the car and then somebody stealing my. No, I shouldn't
That's
because
totally
it's my
different.
car. And what you're saying now
That's
is
totally
that they
different.
shouldn't have had to. They shouldn't have to worry about this guy possibly bringing all this stuff up.
Well,
If I
no,
go
that's
through-
not what I'm saying.
If
first off.
I walk
That's
into
not what I'm saying.
Disneyland, if I walk into Disneyland carrying a backpack, they're gonna make me take the bag off. They're gonna go all the way through it, and then I gotta pass through a bunch of metal detectors before I can walk in the door. But they let this guy go up and down carrying all these big cases, and they gave him a private elevator to do it.
But Joe, we're talking about Las Vegas. Think about that. And Las Vegas is crime central. This whole place is built on
Maybe
vice.
it's because they do things like give people
You're
private elevators and no
correct.
supervision.
But the thing is, there would not be a Las Vegas if it wasn't for that vice. Now, I'm not saying that as an excuse.
my goodness, no Las Vegas.
What I'm saying is,
I can't remember the last time I went to Vegas.
What I'm saying is, they thought they were offering genuine service, and I'm not a fan of Vegas myself. I really don't think it's a fun place to go. That's just me.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm poor, but yeah, I don't really enjoy going to Vegas. I have
It's
no
just-
money to gamble.
Las Vegas is a little too extra for me. But
Yeah,
at the
you-
same
I'm sorry, a
time,
little too what?
extra. It's just
You
too
small
Extra? What is
small-
extra?
Never mind, Joe.
You small fish don't know nothing about Vegas.
I can't hold the guy who's working the gate at the service elevator responsible for a maniac. I just can't see doing that. That's like you're going to hold somebody who's probably getting paid less than minimum wage responsible for doing what they're told?
I'm not holding the security guy because I'm sure the policy was that he wasn't supposed to bother him. I'm holding the executives, the same people who are trying to sue the victims now so they don't get in trouble, so
I
that
do
they
have a
can
problem with that.
they can keep stuffing their pockets with the money.
I do have a problem with them suing. That's all kinds of bass backwards.
We got some people on the Facebook live chat.
Oh, all right.
Looks like we've been neglecting it for a little while. Kelly's jumping on.
Hey, Kelly. Thanks for commenting this evening.
She's getting some jabs in on Chevelle. She says Chevelle will work for food, but it would probably be cheaper to just pay him. Good one.
Oh,
she's probably right.
My goodness. Wait.
And Eric's jumping in. He says, sounds like a new Trump law would have
Sounds like a law Trump would have
came
come
up
with.
with.
Todd can't read.
Came up with. And do you know if the Manchester victims sued the stadium? Because there was that big thing in England where it was
It's not
Ariana
uncommon.
Grande concert and what? Some guy ran over? Did
Well,
he run over
okay,
a bunch of
but
people, or
wait,
was he stabbing people? It was
We
something
can't.
like that.
That I don't know. That doesn't make any sense because you're talking about a different country which has completely different laws.
But it's not about the
But
laws.
it's not
about
it's
holding,
not dissimilar.
It's holding somebody responsible for the actions of what was essentially mass chaos, and that's why I'm not excusing MGM for this lawsuit. That is
Again,
unconscionable.
I don't think anybody's
But I don't
holding
think-
them responsible for the mass
I don't
chaos.
think-
It's the fact that this guy was allowed to get weapons up into his room and use them the way he did.
I have a problem with saying he was allowed to do that. They did not know.
Okay, would you prefer it if I said he was enabled to do that? Does it make
I don't
is
even
it-
know that I would be okay with that. He was not enabled to do that.
I think as a poor man walking into any hotel Las Vegas, I can tell you how it goes.
I tell you
That
what, you're a poor man, so it doesn't matter.
I walk in the door and I go through the main entrance that everybody else goes through, and I got to go past that security guy who's sitting right there who wants to see my room key and looks at every bag I'm carrying in before I walk past him to the elevators that'll take me up to my room.
I have never had that happen, and I'm black.
Really? You've
I
never
have never had anybody ask me to go through my bags.
I
I've
didn't say
never
they went
had-
through my bag,
I've
but I said they
never
look
had
at all of
anybody-
my bags.
I'm sure they have
And
cameras.
I'm pretty
I know
sure
for a fact
that
they have
if I
cameras
started trying to
everywhere.
walk in with a bunch
I've
of
never
violin
had anybody
cases,
ask me with my room key. They're not violin cases.
no, they were really big, strange, bulky cases.
They probably look like cases instruments would be in, like big rectangular cases, like the cases
And-
you carry all your audio
And
equipment in.
after the second or third day of bringing that up, I'm thinking somebody would say, "What are you moving in?"
Yeah, and somebody probably did. But here's the thing.
And they're like, have a good day, sir.
How often do you think that kind of thing happens where they don't care? Because I'm telling you, it happens, especially when you're talking about high rollers. They're walking around with actual tons of
Well,
cash.
you also can't really discount how bad people are at their jobs overall.
So you're saying that there's actually a lower level than the TSA, and those people are in charge of
Absolutely.
hotel
There's-
security in
there's
Vegas.
definitely a lower level of incompetence, I'm sure.
No, that would be a higher level of incompetence.
I think
Don't
both
tell
apply.
me how incompetent you are. I know how incompetent you are.
What? Yeah.
This
okay.
is where you're supposed to put the crickets
Yeah,
in,
I know
so-
exactly. That's what I was thinking. I should really hit the crickets for this, but I don't even know where to go with that.
And then Kelly's jumping in. She says, "How are the people? They're just because they need to pay their medical bills." But I mean, that's what they're saying is MGM is doing this as a preemptive strike. Nobody's actually sued MGM yet.
No, nobody has yet, and what they're trying to do is get the federal government to absolve them of responsibility. Basically, it's like filing bankruptcy without filing bankruptcy, so
Yeah.
that they just they're completely protected.
So in theory, if MGM wins this case, all they win is the fact that they don't have to pay anybody.
Exactly. Yeah. So far, they're not suing anybody for money. Just they are suing so that they can't
They're
themselves
suing
get
to
sued.
absolve themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, they're trying to do a preemptive strike, and I don't know, not give the what would you call it, the prosecution any time to properly prepare a case. Basically,
Well, I mean, this happened a while ago, so I'm sure there are cases pending. They just probably, I don't know what's been filed or not filed.
Yeah.
You know for a fact some lawyer, as soon as that happens, was like, oh, yeah, payday.
All right. Well, so this
Only
is
in America, folks.
yeah. This is a nice, interesting twist on this, and I'm really disgusted. I've never been a big fan of Vegas, but I can tell you personally, I'm going to go out of my way to not go to an MGM property if I should happen to have to go to Vegas anytime in the next several years. So,
But you can't. That's not even just Vegas.
hey, you know what? But see, no, it's easy for me. I'm poor because I'll just go to Motel 6 anyway. So
they probably have stakes in that.
That's probably true also. But see, this could be Hilton's chance to get back in the game. Since Paris has disappeared from everything and the Hilton name is no longer in the media all the time, maybe this is Hilton's chance to say, hey, guess what? We have never sued victims at our hotel. Why don't you come stay with us?
Not once.
Anyway, this is Around Midnight with the Local Boys. We'll be back right after this. Around Midnight is a production of Mixified Media Solutions. Mixified is a full-service multimedia production company. From boardroom to broadcast, whatever your production needs, Mixified is your solution. Go to Mixified.com, that's MIXAFIED, or call 951-356-6882. Mixified Media Solutions.